down.
Today's episode, I'm going to be showing you how to change a battery.
Alright, out at the smoker. Took the back off the LG refrigerator. Four Boys Garage back here, working on the Ford Econoline van. This is a 2005, and doing some shocks on it, giving it a little bit of love. And if you're going to be doing shocks on your Econoline van or Ford truck with the control arms down there, stop, wait. There's things you need and things you need to know. We're going to show you right here, particularly if you got a little rust action going on. Alright, we have this side removed. This would be the driver's side. I just showed you the passenger side. And I gotta pull a little bit of that bushing that's still stuck up in there, but you cannot easily access the top stud of your shock. And one of the things you're going to need as an essential tool is the old flexi wrench and a 15 mil. It's your only prayer. And maybe a pair of vice grips to grab the actual shock and hold back on it so that it doesn't spin on you. But the other thing is they have a welded stud on the control arm here. And if you have luck anything like ours, you'll be drilling a hole just like that one, because the bottom bushing of the shock goes on previously discussed stud, and that would be ours with the washer attached. It's like a welded washer onto the nut, and you will shear it off and you'll be drilling. So you'll need a 1/2 inch drill bit and maybe a pilot bit if you choose. Ours have a built-in pilot tip on them. Definitely want the flexi 15 mil up top. You cannot get a straight wrench in there, and you certainly don't want to use a 14 mil because it won't fit. You're also going to need yourself a grinder, cordless preferably. If you're so fortunate to have a cordless die grinder, it's particularly handy to cut away some of the remaining portions of the inside. But you're also going to need this repair kit, and it's way better than just a bolt or threaded bolt, and we have one broken down already.
You don't want to use the bushings on it that it comes with.
Yeah, we're not going to, on our application, there's kind of a universal kit for this type of a setup. And depending on your setup, you may or may not need the bushings. We do not.
This side goes into the control arm like this. You want to have the longer side with the shoulder facing the inside of the van. Run it through there. Washer on. Put the nut on. Oh. It's a 19 millimeter. You also want to make sure that you have some red thread locker. We're using blue for the time being.
And that will replace that stud. Definitely make sure that you use some oil when you're drilling, and obviously respect all of the known rules when you're drilling steel. Drill slow, don't burn out your drill bit. But we'll get a little bit more footage here on the other side, sort of in action. But just want to kind of get this out because we had to make a few trips for, well, this part here especially. We did not have that on hand, and we were lucky that we were doing it during open business hours, and lucky that they had a pair. So anyway, a couple little things if you're going to tackle this project, just to know in advance. Not necessarily tools that are in everybody's toolbox. Make sure you got the PB blaster, thread locker, flexi wrench. Always need a good pry bar. ratcheting, breaker bar, doesn't hurt. Some of these things are optional, obviously, but
you should definitely go buy a Milwaukee dyed cordless die grinder. They're awesome.
you should have one of these if you don't already. You need one. You just don't know it yet. It is really nice. I wish DeWalt had something like that on their platform, on their 12-volt stuff, but Milwaukee does do that stick battery, which kind of keeps the handle compact, so it is really nice. But anyway, we'll get a little bit more action on the other side, because on the back side of there, you do have to do some grinding. We'll try to get a shot of that real quick.
So you want to make sure, once you cut that stud off, get this one out of the way here, to grind down the remainder of this shoulder that is a part of the control arm, because if you don't, the threads on this are not long enough to have the bolt thread on fully. So make sure you grind that with a nice grinding wheel. Alright, so on the passenger side, we soaked it overnight with PB Blaster, and the nut actually came off, so this is what it should look like. You can successfully get it removed. Here's the nut. It has a beveled washer.
Passenger side, much easier. Definitely need the flexible ratcheting wrench. Moral of the story, if you're going to start this project before you have problems, go ahead and good overnight soaking of the PB. This is the next morning that we're actually doing this passenger side. So from maybe around mid to late day, not even 24 hours, it got to soak, and clearly made a huge difference. So might not be the guaranteed solution. We had this guy shear off on the top side of this side anyway, so but better luck with the one down low, and of course that saves a ton of work on the drilling and putting in that repair kit. So it's probably the best tip of all for your Ford van or Ford truck. All right, this one we've got, this is back on the driver's side here, we already had drilled. We've got everything in place and tightened down. The new shock has a spot to hold back, and up in here is going to be why you want that. Let's see if we can get in there. That flexi wrench right there. You can drop him on there and be able to tighten that top nut and hold it. So another piece of advice is have your barn be done and a concrete slab. It's like torture. I mean, really, it's really nice to have concrete in there, but hey, stuff breaks, stuff needs fixed. You got to work on it with what you got. So here's this. If you thought you were going to just be replacing shocks on your Ford truck or van, think again. You need a whole bunch more tools, not just your ratchet set. Be ready for some metal fabrication. Just wanted to kind of put this together to help anybody who's planning. And let's get, where's that packaging? Let's get the part number on that. This helps get under your truck when you don't have concrete. Nice piece of OSB. This is a Napa Solutions part. That is 650-1100. Definitely have a set of those in hand. This is the shock for this particular truck. It's a 76796. It's an 05 Ford E150.
But I'm pretty sure it applies from 1992 to like 2007.
Probably 20 years worth of Ford vans likely in there. So anyway, a couple of tips to help you prepare for your project. Hopefully you hit the old YouTubes before you jumped into this. But if you jumped in and then maybe hit the YouTubes, hopefully this finds you and it kind of helps you figure out what you got to do. So hey, it's late here, 9:15 p.m. in the garage. 4 boys out.